Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, incredible one, joining me from across the globe. You're welcome on board another episode of the Transformation Podcast with your host, Dr. Sylvia Forchap can be my wonderful and humble self. The Transformation Podcast is an incredible podcast actually delivered or hosted by myself and is designed to bring you empowering, transformational, and life-changing content on personal development, leadership, relationships, health and well-being, business, career, so that you may thrive and excel in your maximum and full potential, living a fulfilling, healthy, and purposeful life. And here is another episode. I am your host, Dr. Sylvia Forchap Kambi, a leading empowerment and transformation authority, the founder and CEO of diverse companies. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm best known for my work with, I don't think it's only Voice of Nations, which is a social enterprise, but also Global Visionary Women Network, and my publishing company, together with my incredible family, and especially children, who are some of the youngest authors in the world. It's a pleasure and privilege to be with you on this episode of the Transformation Podcast. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of water, healthy drink, some fresh juice or tea, and just sit back, relax as you gain some unwavering, powerful knowledge, words of wisdom that have the power and potential to transform your mindset, your thought patterns, and above all, inspire you to step out there and live a purposeful, fulfilling, and glorious life, the life you were born, designed, and created to live. Welcome on board, and I'm your host, once again, Dr. Sylvia Forchap Kambi. Today, we're going to look at something that's been in my heart for so long. And with each day, as I keep hearing these words, these sentences made again and again, I get that urge of delivering this message. And it's entitled The Power of Being and Not Feeling. Today's transformation podcast is on the power of being. Who are you? You are a human being. Being someone. Being is a state of a person's identity or a person's nature, is the nature and essence of something that is real. Being also reveals the characteristics or the personality traits of someone or something that exists. Being also means existence. Feeling is an emotional state. Feeling has got nothing to do with your true essence and nature. Feeling has got nothing to do with your existence, with who you are, or describes anywhere close to who you are and represent. In other words, being, a state of being, is almost unwavering. Not almost, it's unwavering. It's constant, it's unshakable, it's not dependent on circumstances, conditions, or the things that happen within or around you. It's not determined by triggers, as we use those words. We've become so sensitive in today's world that we talk a lot about feelings. Of course, feelings has got to do with emotions. Emotions are subjectives. Emotions will never define me. As a human being, my state of being, my nature, my true characteristics, or my essence of existence. Whereas, who you are, who you represent, will definitely, or in fact, not with definitely reveals your true essence and nature. Again, to briefly recap, keep these three. If there's anything words in mind when we talk of being, a state of being: nature, essence, existence, feeling, emotions, at a given condition, a given moment in time, because our emotions are constantly changing. Our emotions are volatile. Our emotions are bound to change because they are caused by chemicals in our body, which are released based on stimuli, external stimuli or internal stimuli or trigger. And we respond to that stimuli, whatever the message is, through those hormones that are being released through our neuronal pathway, our axons, and they are released. And naturally, we are designed to actually utilize our emotions for survival. It gives us a message that we are either in danger or there is something good out there that will actually enable you to survive. Life is not about surviving. We are already surviving. If you're listening to me and to this great and empowering podcast today, you are alive. You're existing. Life goes beyond existence. Life goes beyond survival. We need to now thrive. We need to now live life fully. You can never live life fully depending on feelings or depending on feelings. They are bound to change because, like I was said, when those hormones are released, it's for a purpose, either for you to fight, run, fight, flee, or people say now phrase is always to actually run away from the danger, whatever it is, whatever that stimuli is, or you fight and conquer so you may live. And once that is accomplished, it has a purpose. It is being reabsorbed or is being broken down to be eliminated. They are not meant to stay in your system. They are not meant to be constant. They are not meant to become a natural state of your existence of being because they serve a purpose. Once that purpose is fulfilled, either you conquer that battle after fighting or you run away, you survive, they now have to be taken up or broken down and released from your system. But what happens in today's world? Have you noticed it? I love to use the word amazing, but it's not amazing. It's sad, it's pathetic to see just how people have reduced everything about them to feelings, and they want people to buy into their feelings. They want you to believe that what they are feeling is real. No, feelings are subjective. Your feeling comes in place, your response to the stimuli. What stimuli actually triggers a certain feeling may be the same for 10 people, but our responses to that trigger, to that stimuli, can be completely different. Each one completely different and opposite from the next. Why? It's not a stimuli per se that says, I mean this, respond this way. No, it's who we are, where we've come from, our perception of life, our thoughts, thought patterns, where we are raised, the background, how we think, and all of that. It plays a crucial role into us now responding or reacting to that stimuli, to that external or internal stimuli or trigger that has actually taken place. So it's never what has happened. What has happened is what it is. What has happened, the things that happen in life usually don't come with specific level. Call me pain. No, no, no. Someone would detest labor. It's so painful. I don't want to go to labor. Another woman would be like, oh my goodness, it's the best thing that ever happened to me in life. It brought my essence, my humanity into the maximum level of revelation. My unconditional love, that is level. Yes, is it painful? Pain is not always, a negative thing. Absolutely. There is no bad without pain. Look at it in life. Think about the simple, natural, most basic bad, the bad of another life. It's painful. Immense pain, the moment of travail. So it depends on who you are. You can't say bad or labor comes with a warning or with a signal, with a name attached to it. It's a state of being. I am pain. You go through pain. You don't have to like me. No. I'm labor, whatever you call it in whatever language you speak. Travaglio. Is it travaglia in Italian? And all that. In my dialect, I don't know how it's called, but there are different names. It doesn't matter. I am the pathway or the process through which a new birth or new life is brought into the world. Your narrative or experience of me will depend on you or who you are. A large scale, how you see me, how you see life, what do you think about me, what do you think about life. That doesn't come labeled on it. I am grief. No, a life is lost. I am painful. I am despair. I am hopelessness. No. Some rejoice after death when people have lived a fulfilling and purposeful life because they celebrate their life. They don't cry because they are dead. The same death to one brings despair, depression, and they never return again. And to another, it brings immense hope, joy, a reason for celebration. an acknowledgement of that person's life and legacy that they've lived. We know that while they are not physically here, their legacy lives on. My parents were one of those incredible people. My dad especially, I was a daddy's girl. My dad has never left me. My dad has left this world physically, but his spirit lives in me. My mom's spirit lives in me. They've never left us. So, why do we have people consistently talking about feeling? You can't sit with people like I was saying, and they make a sentence for 1 minute or maybe 30 seconds without using feel. I feel like I don't like this. I feel like I don't even know how to put it because I am like baffled. I can't understand how in every sentence you make or people make, maybe you're watching me and one of those people. My heart's desire, my greatest desire, and that's why I do this podcast. Your mind may be transformed. Not in any transformation is always positive. I'm not saying this to judge you, condemn you. Absolutely. I always say this. I don't qualify. I don't qualify to judge or condemn. I'm not God. I have my own weaknesses. I've got my own limitations. I'm perfectly imperfect for a divine purpose. I cannot judge you, but I can share with you and serve you in my wisdom and knowledge, infinite wisdom that comes from God to guide you towards the path of greatness, fulfillment, and living that inner peace and joy and harmony. So you are always in that state of being in one accord with who you are in every given condition, in every given circumstance. You become unwavering. The weather cannot change who I am. Whether it's a sunny day, a bad weather, storms, Dr. Sylvia Chapley can be with or without a doctor title. I remain inherently the same powerful woman of faith, a woman of God, a child of the Most High God, born, set apart, and destined for greatness, to live a purposeful life, to uplift, to encourage, to empower, to inspire with my words. My words are alive. When I speak my words, they bear forth fruits. My words never come and return void because I'm like my Creator God, who speaks and his words become life. His words become a person. My words are persons, personality. My word is my identity. My word represents my ultimate identity, who is Christ, who is Jesus, who is God. And when I speak, they impact, they empower, they inspire, they ignite a fire. A seed is sown in the mind and soul of he or she who listens to me, even when I'm long gone. It continues to be there. And once you choose to nurture and nourish it, it will sprout and produce after its kind. When you sow an orange seed in any fertile ground, and that should be your mind. If your mind is fertile, receptive, ready for growth, so you may explore your maximum potential and thrive, then when I sow this seed, if you nurture and nourish them, they will sprout and produce after their kind. So that's all my purpose. That's why I'm here. Not to judge or condemn you, not to make you feel guilty. Actually, the one who myself says there is now no condemnation or guilt in him. You absolutely don't have to feel guilty. Acknowledge your weakness. For only when you acknowledge your weakness, or I acknowledge my weakness, can I be willing to create change? Can I be willing to work on them and improve? The beginning of every transformational journey comes with awareness. My battery is running down. I am on Facebook. Apologies, I'm looking towards this direction. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm live on YouTube, and my transformation podcast usually goes live on YouTube. So I'm going to share this. Pardon me, I'm just charging my battery. Okay, I'm going to just leave this. Pardon me. Oh, I'm not going to spend so much time doing this. Okay, you're going to watch and you'll definitely be blessed. Perfect. It's come out of the screen. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to do things that... Okay, pardon me again. Okay, I'm natural, I'm spontaneous. You know what? It's a bit slanted, but this is on Facebook. I want it to be great. Perfect. I'm perfect here. It's gone up a bit. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right, whatever. Is the words that important? Okay, it's not you seeing me. So I'm looking more on this camera. So again, pardon me if you are actually on Facebook. I love you. I celebrate you. I acknowledge you. I value you. And if you are actually joining me or you listen to the podcast, which I'll definitely share later on, I don't tell anyone I'm coming live when I'm doing the podcast. I just choose to do it, record it, and stream it live on YouTube. Then I share it later on. So it's meant to be shared later. So I can just flow and share what I've got to share with you. And on today's podcast, like I was saying, is the power of being, not feeling. And I'm talking about the state of being and not the state of feeling. I'm sure you know 10 or more people, 50 people who always talk about their feelings. I feel I'm a woman. How many times have people heard that? Being a woman is not a state of emotion. It's not an emotional state. It's a state of being. It's my nature, my essence. I am woman. I am born woman. I remain a woman forever. No matter the climate, no matter the circumstances, no matter what you think about me, no matter whether you believe or you don't believe in me, I don't feel. That's the problem. When we feel, it's based on our emotion. It's so subjective. Cannot take anyone or expect anyone to agree with your feelings. Why I can be empathetic, I must not agree with your feelings because they are subjectives. I may completely not be in correlation or in acceptance to the way you feel because I feel different or completely the opposite way in the same situation with you. You cannot say I'm your feeling phobic. I don't know how we put it into this world. We want to give labels for everything. You cannot want me to feel the way you feel. No. Your feelings are subjective. It's a sum total of who you are, how you think, the beliefs you hold. Even if you don't know that you hold those beliefs, it is revealed in that emotional state of expression. And again, when we are feeling something, our primitive brain, think about it, is at work, not our mature, wonderful, powerful, sophisticated brain that is meant to guide us to navigate through the world and thrive. Only through a sophisticated brain or the mature brain can we truly thrive and live a fulfilling and purposeful life, connected to our soul and heart, our soul purpose and heart. True emotional brain is so primitive. It's when we're yet naive. Those who are ignorant about, things, they don't have knowledge, they've not developed and mature, hang on to emotions because we are naturally given emotions. God has set it to come into place to make us survive. It's not dependent on our maturity or not. But when we mature, we begin to be in full control of the emotions. We know that we can control, which is self-control, control or moderate or channel whatever emotions we want to channel. I might feel so much rage within me, but I channel it into a positive way to bring pain, to bring change or growth in that environment. I will pause and give you an example. Okay, emotions again, like I said, very, very subjective. They come from your primitive brain, the emotional brain, and the center of this emotional brain is called the amygdala. Your amygdala, okay? This amygdala will respond sometimes to emotions or to thoughts that you already have, memories from the past. In the past, maybe when you saw a lion, it actually signified danger. Run for your life. You stored it in your hippocampus, where we store memories in our brain. And that emotional brain has recorded that. So the next time you see a lion, you don't need to think reason, it just kicks in. Our emotional brain, the amygdala, like I said, that's the center, it kicks in at 1,000 of a second. Imagine this is 1 second. 1 second, a second. My amygdala kicks in 1,000 of a second. So you divide this click 1,000 times, you have 0.001 second. 0.001 second. I can't, by the time I even do this, 0.001 second has passed. So it can imagine how fast the amygdala kicks in because it's a matter of death or survival. It doesn't want you to think. Some of us may be so courageous. While danger is coming, we want to think and then we get killed and destroyed. God created you to save His creation. But his purpose for creating you and me is not that we exist. We are already existing. It's to live more. From the moment we are born, we start existing. Like Mark Twain said, the two greatest days in your life, in my life, are the day we were born and the day we find out why we were born. On the day you are born or you were born, you become existence. You exist. You start being. You are a human being. It becomes a state, a constant state. You are now a new human being to the world. You exist. You become existence. Your nature is present. Your essence is here. But life goes beyond just being born and existing. And he said the second most important day and the most powerful is the day you and me find out why we were born. In other words, our purpose of living, our purpose of existing. We're not just created by God to exist, but to fulfill a unique mission and mandate on earth that will bring us deep inner fulfillment. Fulfillment is not even an emotion, it's a state of being. Great inner content, peace, resolution. When you are resolute with yourself, you know that this is who I represent in my entirety. My spirit, my soul, and my body are in one accord. There is no disagreement. There is no disharmony. There is no disunity. I am whole and complete and one. You flourish. You thrive. You have that deep sense of fulfillment that goes with you every single second and instant you live. Irrespective of life challenges, irrespective of moments of sadness, you are still very fulfilled. But those moments will come because there are seasons in life and no season lasts forever. Seasons have a purpose, emotions have a purpose, survival, existence. You can't keep defining yourself by feelings. You can't if you are one of those who consistently say everything about your nature by using feelings. I want you to pause and reflect. You surely, unfortunately, do not know who you truly are, because who you truly are has got nothing to do with feelings. And guess what? When we feel a way, we yearn for people to acknowledge that. We yearn for people to understand us. It's like, I'm sad, I'm crying. Maybe you're married, you are that wife, you're so sad. You're sitting, you're isolated, you're hoping for your husband and yearning. Because when we share emotions, it's a need. It's showing us we either need this, we need to go for, love, we need to run from danger. There is danger there. You don't feel safe here. You need to go to a place where you feel safe. So we are yearning and crying in our homes, waiting for our husbands to acknowledge us, to recognize us that we are sad, and comes and maybe embraces us, acknowledges us, or reveal to us that we are acknowledged, we are worthy. You know what? And when they don't come, you continue to dwell in that self-pity, in that emotional state. You sob and cry and go low and low. Those hormones were never meant to stay in your system forever. If you're continually sad, which is what leads to depression in the next round, just being in that state of sadness, of moodiness, of whatever, being so low, no drive, no motivation for so long, hoping people would understand you, hoping people will comfort you, hoping people will see life the way you see and understand you, but they seem not to see it, because of course they are different. You are unique. I am unique. I cannot be you. I cannot feel like you know. And the more mature I get to understand that I have the power to moderate my emotions. I've got the power to take control effectively, manage my emotions, and channel them in a healthy way. Get me? I said healthy. Why I cannot tell you what emotions to experience and not experience? You must ensure that whatever emotion you experience is healthy. Crying is healthy. That's why I don't stop the tears from running down. They have a purpose. It's a way of channeling the anxiety within you, the pain, the resentment. Let those tears flow. It's a healthy way. But you cannot cry every single day. It becomes unhealthy. Its season has passed where it had to serve you for a healthy purpose to release those emotions. But it cannot be forever. No season lasts forever. No emotion lasts forever. And that's why in today's world, I cannot talk about feelings without going to this term. We've become so sensitive. Pardon me, but I am not you. I can't feel the way you feel. Okay, why we are empathetic, and that's human nature. We are compassionate. God is compassionate. Compassion comes with love, profound, unconditional love. Our world again, we have limited knowledge, ignorance. We have limited love to feelings. I feel I'm loved. No, that's not love. Love is an unconditional state of being. It's who you are. It's who I am. My image is after God's image. If you see every religion in the world, why some don't know the God I serve, they don't believe in the God I serve, who actually is God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, they believe in another. Every religion leads to love. They are seeking God. They are seeking the omnipotent Creator. Because his nature, his essence, his existence is manifested in love, unconditional state of being, pure, unconditional love. Love is God. Love is not love, because we have our own weird ways. For some, love may mean you do this to me, I love you. You're nice to me, I love you. I hear some people again based on ignorance. My podcast, Transformation Podcast, so your mind is transformed. You don't dwell in ignorance. You get knowledge, but above all, knowledge of the truth. So you may live a fulfilling and purposeful life. You may step out boldly in authority and confidence and live the life we are called to live, because you know who you are. You know your essence, your being, your authority, your power, and you know that you are unwavering. When you walk, you step in, you know that I am present. God says, I am that I am. I am that I am. My essence is my essence. My essence is my nature. Love is my nature. I am the love that I am. I'm the pure, unconditional love that I am. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I am love. I'm created in God's divine image. His pure image. Unconditional love is an unconditional state of being, and we show compassion, not pity, not feelings. I will continually have compassion on those who are misled, on those who are dying in ignorance, on those who have refuted knowledge, on those who choose to live in darkness, even though the light is out there for them to walk freely and shine, even though the light is within them, not even out there. My light is shining to you, but my light comes from within me. I shine it externally because my God has created me to be light to the world, and you to be light to the world if you believe in my God. So my light will shine. When I step in, light is a state of being. Whether you feel good or not, there is light in this room. It continues to make its essence, its nature manifest wherever and whenever it's present. Wherever and whenever I am present, I continually shine. I continually love. Because my love does not depend on you. It's my nature. It's my true essence and being. I cannot be anyone else. It's difficult to be someone else. I cannot become an animal. I can't think. And when you are who you are, you're in that state of being. You don't need people to approve of you. You don't need people to accept your existence. Whether you accept Jesus or not, you accept God or not exist, you don't change him. You cannot refute his divine presence. You cannot take him off the world. He created it. Whether you accept my existence or not, or you are knowledgeable that I, Dr. Sylvia Fortune, becoming the United Kingdom, who comes originally from Cameroon, exists or not, is irrelevant to my being, to my existence, to my nature, to my essence. Whether you know me or not, it benefits you, on the other hand, if you know I exist. Because guess what? you can listen to this edifying and empowering podcast. And I bet and guarantee you, your mind can never be the same again. Your mind will be transformed. You start walking in the light and in truth, knowing who you are. So like I was saying, whether you refute truth or not is unfortunate, because in ignorance, you continue to walk in darkness, not knowing that you are light. You have the light in you, and you've left it off. Why I accept there is light in this place, there is a switch that regulates whether it comes on or off. And that switch will determine whether I have light or not. You don't even know where that switch is. It's in your mind. As you think, so you are. That's why we have the regulation in our soul. The real power source comes from the spirit. Because even though I have this switch here, it's connected to a source that brings power to my home. Without power coming to my home, without the source of electricity coming to my home, I cannot have access to that source of electricity, even when I switch on my light. And hence, there can be no light in this room. My bulbs cannot shine, even though I turn on the switch. It's the same way, beloved. Your essence of being, who you are, your body, soul, and spirit, 3 in 1. Once you're one, aligned, you continue to be refueled from the spirit. Your true power and nature is the spirit. And that's why love is a spiritual entity. Love is spirit. You can see it. You can see, because I don't see love, Dr. Sylvia, I don't believe in love. Come on. You experience it. Because when it's present, it's evident. Its presence is made manifest in its nature. You experience when you are loved, when you are in love, when you are walking in love. You know, nobody tells you. You experience the power of love. You don't feel it. When you feel it, tomorrow will be gone. That's why today in our marriages, we say, oh, I don't feel I'm in love anymore with you. It was superficial. It was superficial. It was based on emotion. Maybe by then he was handsome, he was wealthy, he was telling you always, I love you, he was carrying you, and now he stopped because it was based on what he did that produced that. Imagine again the stimuli that produced that reaction in you to love him in return of the way he treated you. Now he's taking off those stimuli, he's taking off those triggers. You cannot have the same response or reaction because it took that trigger for you to feel or fall in love. Walk in love, don't fall in love. You need to be fully alert so you might impact everyone who walks around you when you're walking in love and you're exhibiting your love, your nature and essence when you're present. It's indisputable. When I speak, when I'm present, wherever I'm present, love is present. It doesn't matter whether people are hating, I take over. You do the same. That's how powerful your state of being is. It doesn't matter when you step into a place where maybe they've never known you. You are existing. You are real. Your nature is present in that room. That room can never be the same because one unique person who is you has stepped into that room. That room has an additional value, entity, nature who is you or me brought into it. It's not how people feel, whether they feel you are there or not. I feel like nobody notices me. I feel like everybody is talking about me. You have a real deep issue with your own self-identity and worth. I'm sorry there again. That's true. When you know who you are, it doesn't matter. You might not agree with what I say. Again, like I say, there is nothing. I've always said this. I teach that's not based on principles. Principles are true. They're unwavering. They're unshakable. It's like I come to teach you about gravity. Whether you've heard gravity or not, you believe in it or not, gravity is not my law. Gravity is not dependent on me. Gravity is not my theory. Gravity is not the way I feel about life. Gravity is part of God's creation. It's one of the laws that govern nature and our universe. Whether you like it or not, whether you accept or not, go up and you jump. You never go up by jumping. You never go to the side. You never fly. You're going to be pulled down by the force of gravity. Whether you agree with what I speak or not, and that's why I'm convicted in my words. I know I speak truth. nothing short of truth. And it's my heart's desire. Like I thrive in truth because I know the truth. I walk in authority and power. So many say, Dr. Sylvia, what gives you so much authority? I remember once I walked into a Lloyd's bank, met one of the incredible business managers, and that's how I developed a strategic relationship with them. After speaking to him for the very first time, he paused and looked at me and said this, you speak with so much confidence and authority. What makes you this confident and to speak with so much authority? I smiled. It was the very first time someone was saying that to me, but I knew definitely I spoke with authority. I know I'm a woman of power and authority. That I know. I'm humble at the same time. But when I have to stand for truth now, I'm not going to mix my words. I can't pretend. I don't do politics. I've said this again and again when I do life with my husband. You know, some people make some theories that when you go out, even if you're arguing with your husband, put a great face. I don't know how to do that. If I am now, I've matured enough. So I truly, my husband and myself, we are at a state. We are a state of being. We are a couple. We exist as a couple. It's our nature. Together we are one as a couple. We are revealing the nature, the power of synergy. Two is better than one. So we've grown a lot, we've learned a lot, we've become more mature. So consistently when I exhibit that joy in me, because I've understood the power of two, that me and him together produce a greater constellation of light than I can ever produce alone. If I'm 1,000 watt of light, I always shine at my full capacity. Talking to you alone, you get just 1,000 watt of light. When my husband is here, he's 1,000, you get 2,000 watt of light. How powerful we become. We can shine miles away that alone I could never be able to shine because my capacity, my potential is 1,000. Yet I'm confident in exhibiting my maximum potential whenever I am present or wherever I am present. But I understand that together as a couple, we are far more big and powerful. And we've come to understand that, and God is at the center of our marriage. So truly, we become that power couple. We become a representation of God's intent for marriage, the institution of marriage, reflecting love, reflecting abundance, reflecting joy, reflecting wisdom, reflecting growth, reflecting a family. But before I got to that stage, beloved, I cannot go out there if I'm crying with my husband, I'm upset. I don't smile. No, we are the same. We might not speak to one another in a party, we don't pretend. So I do not pretend. I'm a true epitome of the words I say. I live them to the core, but not by my power or might, but by God's grace. Because I know that He strengthens me. I know that He empowers me. I know that I'm serving Him. It says, let my light shine. I am aware it's my light. I'm aware it's my authority. I know I have the power to shine because He's created me and equipped me with what I need to shine. I know that whenever I step in my nature, I am the light. I don't feel like the light. Because if you feel, then when that feeling is gone, you don't feel like you're alive. You feel like you're in darkness. You see what I mean? I know that I know that I know that I know. I am light. My existence is light. My nature is light. My essence is light. When I go everywhere, right now in this podcast, I'm light. I'm shining in your heart through my words. There can be light and people still stumble. Am I right? There can be light and I still choose to close my eyes. Some don't like the light. There is light, they still choose to work in darkness. Step out of the light. It doesn't change the fact that you are light, beloved. It doesn't change who you are. They may not acknowledge you. They may not recognize you. They may not approve of you. You don't have to fear. You have to be with power and authority because that's who you are. That's who you represent. You cannot be anyone else. You cannot be me. You cannot know how to be me. I cannot know how to be you. I use the word try in vain because I was never designed and created to be you. You were never designed and created to be me. It's like the eyes trying so hard to be the ears. Waste of time, energy, resources. And truly that's failure. Living another person's purpose. That's the only failure in life. Apart from that, there is no failure. Everything in life is feedback. Because you've given up being who you are. You've given up being the eyes. It means that you've accepted to live a mediocre life, to live below your potential. and you're trying to be ears and fit in where ears are or noses are. What a waste of life. What a waste of your time. And then you want people to sympathize with you because you feel this way. No, no. Get the feeling sorted. Understand your feeling are subjective. Your feeling comes from the emotions, from what you are releasing. If you're feeling joy, joy is actually a state of being. It's a fruit of the spirit again, like love. It's not happiness. You're feeling happy based on conditions, the things around you, and then they're taken away. You start feeling sad, low, and depressed. You see people who's actually identified their worth or link their worth, their essence, their nature to riches, to material possessions. When they have it, they feel worthy. They feel great. That's why whenever they are present in any gathering, if you hear them, they'll talk about things. They'll talk about possessions. They'll talk about money. Rich people talk about things because they are only rich. It's through material gains. Wealthy people talk about ideas, talk about solutions. They don't talk about people. Poor people talk about people. Poverty is when you lack ideas and vision. So you spend your time talking about people who've got ideas and vision and are creating, and you surely become envious or detestful, resentful of them. Not knowing that you could ask them to teach you, or I could ask them to teach me, and they would teach me. We resent them, yet we cannot change them because they are merely exhibiting who they are. That's all they can be. They cannot be another one else. They did not create themselves. They are creator God. My creator God created me for a purpose. The eyes did not create itself. We did not study so hard for the eyes to get a PhD to be able to see on this body. From day one at birth, it gradually started evolving over time. At the very beginning when you were born, you couldn't see, even though the purpose of the eyes are to see. Maybe God wanted us to still adapt, not adapt so immediately to this world, but so we can adapt with the spirit in us. See the world through our spiritual eyes. See the world through our soul. Experience the world and relate with our parents. That's why children can smell. They can smell their parents. They can hear their voices. We connect in a far greater sense than just the physical. Maybe I'm just imagining, okay? Because I want to think, as I said, there's a purpose for everything. If a bed we cannot see immediately, God has a purpose. It might just be He doesn't want us to move by sight. He limits us, but by faith. By faith. That child just come from the womb. He still wants that child to see the endless, infinite possibilities it saw while in the womb, while it was completely locked out from the world, before it is being confined or condemned or structured by the world to take this level and that level and fit it into a box. The eyes didn't struggle. They were created to see. And the eyes can only fulfill their purpose when they see effectively on this body. When they stop seeing there's a problem, we need to go fix it. The same for the ears. The ears can never be the eyes. The ears don't feel like they're ears. They don't feel like they are hearing. That's who they are. That's their nature. That's why they exist on this body. To be the only part of the body that can hear words. Of course, we can still close our ears and we hear through our spiritual eyes or ears, because we are truly spirit beings. Remember, I said that prior to this conversation or to this podcast. So remember, my wonderful, amazing friend, brother, sister, listener, and viewer, you are who you are. You're not a feeling. Don't limit yourself to a feeling. In today's world, what happens? A boy comes and say, "Mommy, I feel I'm a girl today." Oh, they feel this way. Let's not hurt them. Again, it's another feeling. It's emotion. You see, we continue to build a narrative, a structure that is so weak, cannot be sustained because it's dependent on emotions. Emotions are not actually structured. We can transform our mind. We can create new neuronal pathways. They are plastic. A solid structure is rigid, is unshakable. because our emotions are there to serve us in that way. So we are not condemned to one emotion and never experience the other. So we have the ability to create new emotions even after coming through a period of grief. We can create an emotion of life, being alive again, and being happy. So when you start looking at people, taking them based on their feelings, you continue to give definitions, or you continue to build them on a platform of feelings, and you wonder why they crush. You wonder why the highest rate of depression is around people who don't have a clear sense of their identity, of who they are, their state of being and nature of existence. They consistently use the word feeling. I feel I'm a woman. If I feel this way, you must accept my feeling. If I come and tell you today, because I feel I'm a woman or I feel I'm a man, I start dressing like a man, you have to join me and believe me. No, don't confuse me. Don't. It's not our feelings that define whether we are male or female. Some have said, oh, people are born and forced to believe stuff. Whether we like it or not, he who creates defines the power, the purpose of his creation, not you and me. Don't be so emotional. It makes you angry, upset, and you stay in your inner circle of emotional prison. You become a prisoner of the emotional states that you have created. And the world has helped you to build on a very, very, how can I say, shakeable ground, because emotions are not solidified or rooted. If I didn't create this computer, no matter how I feel, I cannot come and change its narrative. I cannot come and change that you are not computer because I feel you are rubbish. You know how people do say it. I'm sorry. Go create your own stuff and give it the name you want, if at all you can have that vision to create. You don't define what you've not created. Accept it or leave it. When you leave it, it doesn't benefit you, because who creates always creates with value to add, and you'll never benefit from the value that the computer can bring. The computer has nothing to lose, because with or without you, their purpose is not embedded outwardly. Their purpose is embedded within them, to serve he who comes to utilize and maximize their purpose. The same way, why wouldn't you come to the world and walk in accordance to the laws that govern the creation of the world, created by a magnificent, powerful, master design God? Why would you want to change? Like I said, why don't you come and say, oh, why was I just born and I was forced to believe or accept gravity? No, today, you know what? I'm going to change that. There is no gravity, because I cannot see gravity. I've got superpowers. You need to accept and feel, when I jump, I'm going to fall. Leave them to go jump. Leave them to go change their body. And some professionals tell me that you give them hormones to stop the maturity. You're ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ignorance. You have highly intelligent but ignorant professionals in today's world. Ignorance does not come from intelligence. It comes from wisdom. Wisdom comes from God. Application of knowledge. When you know and not apply, you are simply as ignorant as someone who doesn't know. You can never benefit from that. It's like knowing the law of gravity and not applying it, understanding that when I jump or fall and break my legs, you go up on the 8th floor and you jump, and you say you're a professor of gravity. Unfortunately, ignorance at its best. At its best. If you think knowledge is expensive, one of my incredible friends, Dr. Ben, I always say this. He said, if you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. I bet you it will cost you your life. It will cost you your life. You see, people who live in feelings and dwell in feelings, you will get hurt by what I say, but I'm sorry, again, it's your feelings. It doesn't change the truth. Who created me? There is just a way I was created. I didn't design it. At a certain stage, I cannot give birth, though I'm born a woman. In me, I've got the potential to become a woman. But at that stage, when you're born, you're a baby girl. You're an infant. It starts with a little baby. A little baby cannot bear a child and give birth to a child. It's still a child, even though they have the womb. It is a master design. And you tell me, based on your feelings, 1 second of high 1 second of feeling the way our feelings are actually triggered by a lot of things, a lot of constant circumstances, surroundings, and change is the only thing in life that's constant. Change is guaranteed every second, which means my emotions will constantly change. Today you feel like you feel high. I feel like I'm meant to date a boy. You go date a boy. I feel like I'm meant to date a woman. You go date a woman. You're married. You understand you're married to one woman. You have to be loyal. You have to love and abide to that and be faithful in your marriage. You feel like making love to another woman. You feel like following the next kid you see on the street. Give me a break. You have an inherent problem of understanding what relationships are, what fidelity, loyalty, and commitment in a relationship is. You keep following your feelings, which are bound to change. Today you go with a woman. It breaks some natural laws that govern marriage, and over time that marriage breaks. Families are broken and families are destroyed, and we see it on generations to come. It affects our children. You violated the laws that govern a healthy and thriving marriage based on faithfulness, respect for one another. Because you failed in a moment, you have to go and sleep with some other woman. You feel in an instant a desire to be with another woman. This is pleasure. Feelings lead to short-lived moments. Pleasure are short-lived, they don't last forever. That's why maybe we take a boost of drug to make us have that euphoric moment, to increase the span of it. Guess what again? It will be broken down. Those feel-good hormones, rush of dopamine, rush of adrenaline, endorphins, endorphins. What was this I was gonna call? I've mentioned endorphins. Oh my goodness, just gone off my mind. How could this go off my mind? I'll come back there, don't worry. Oxytocin, dopamine, whatever they are, they're gonna be broken down gradually again and released. They come for a purpose, that short-lived moment to experience another part of your humanity, the physical creation, the physical part of you. But then that state of joy is always constant. It does not depend on that external circumstances. And unfortunately, because you've built everything around you based on feeling, then people don't actually agree with you. You become depressed. You blame the world. I cannot blame people for my life. No one who doesn't have the power to create you doesn't have the power to narrate your life or determine your destiny. As simple as that. No human created you, no human created me. They cannot define your destiny. Your destiny lies in you. God has already destined you, predestined you for greatness and success. But some of us have rejected Him. We want to go our way now, and our way is contrary to every way or laws of nature. And we keep breaking ourselves. We keep damaging our mental health and well-being because we are working now to damage who we truly are, our true essence. That is spirit. Spirit has no gender. Spirit has no color. Spirit has no race. So what's the big fuss about wanting to feel like a woman and let people accept you like a woman? You have all those allies to make people accept me like a woman and make me worry because I'm a woman. What's the fuss? I'm spirit anyway, anyhow. The true power in me is from the spirit in me. And that's where I have the power to exhibit love, eternal love, unconditional love. That's where I have the power to exhibit peace in my life amidst war and chaos. Because peace is not our ability to live in a society free of war. It's our inherent, eternal ability to live at peace in serenity, even in the midst of chaos and war. You can't have peace when you're fighting a constant battle within your own mind. Think about it. A lot of us are fighting a constant war in our own mind. Our mind, because we have this conflicting image. Your spirit is like, this is who I am. I'm a creator. Your body is telling you something else. And you're constantly conflicting. You're like, hey, there's confusion, there's all of this. What am I? What am I? You just close your ears. I've had enough. I don't know who I am. I'm lost. I feel like, because yes, in that moment, all the rush of adrenaline, you're anxious, you're worried, you've lost control of who you are, your true essence and what an identity is, then you get all confused. And as you continue to dwell in that state of confusion, you continue to depart far away from your true essence and nature, who is spirit, who is love, who is joy, who is peace, who has no race or gender or color, and makes no force on that. you go away further and further from that. And that's why you want to belong. You want to form little petty groups in society. We are called all women. We are called blacks. We are called Cameroonians. We are called Bamilekis. That's another tribe. I want to belong. This is my identity. This is where I come from. Hey, I'm the child of the Most High God. I come from heaven. I come from the kingdom. My parents are heritage from God's kingdom. So it doesn't matter. I don't want to fit into an earthly society. When I go back there, because I recognize my journey, I recognize my part. Everyone who has played a role. My parents, I'll never forget them. Where I was born and given the platform to cultivate my early days of life, I will never forget that heritage. I go back because I'm confident in my identity, my power. I know who I am. I know the value I can bring to them. I go back to bless my fatherland, my motherland, Cameroon. I bless this same nation, Britain, that I'm now a citizen of, that has given me so much potential opportunity as well, because I am now British. It's contributed in bringing me and shaping me to the powerful woman that I am today. But I don't want to belong. I am who I am, with or without the British society. I existed before I came to Britain. I existed before I was born out by my mother in Cameroon, wherever I was born. The moment my dad's sperm and my mother's egg fused together, I became life. I had the breath of life. I was spirit. I became a being, a human being. I existed. I became a true, unique essence and nature that I've carried everywhere that I am. It is who I am. And when I step in, I manifest my nature. I don't struggle. Like I said, the eyes don't struggle to see. They are in alignment with everything they were created to fulfill. When we are in this alignment, when we have moved away from who we are, and we rely a lot on feelings, we're in trouble. We are no longer who we are created to be. We become completely lost. And of course, mental illnesses begin to step in, because guess what? For sure, if my mind, again, that's another principle of the mind, how it functions. The only way for you to constantly exhibit a sound mind, as God created you and I to exhibit consistently. He did not say you are not given a sound mind in the spirit, in the season of grief, in the season of pain. No. I've not given you a spirit of fear. Fear is emotion, linked to emotion. Perfect love casts out all fear. Your essence is love. Where you are present, fear cannot dwell, because you know your power. You know the authority you have to undo the emotions of fear. You know, fear is not long-lived. It's short-lived for a purpose. Maybe that you survive a situation, a condition, that you outlive a condition. You outlive a season, because you are constantly being. You are constantly existing. You are constantly living. So, like I was saying, because we've moved so far away from the spirit being that we are, we begin to have all this mental confusion, mental illnesses set in. Because when you know who you are, God says, I've not given you a spirit of fear. Even though we say emotions are the level of your mind, the primitive brain. He says a spirit, because guess what? I'll go and explain why. But of love, power, and sound mind. That's who you are. That's your being. You've got a sound mind. You've got power. It's not even God. You are powerful. You are exhibiting a sound mind. You represent a sound mind. You are exhibiting love. You represent love. You are an epitome of love. You are an epitome of what I intend or I mean as a sound mind. You are an epitome of what power is, because you know who you are, your essence. You work in power and authority, knowing that no one gives you authority to shine, because they did not create you, but the one who created you, and you know he's already conferred that authority and power onto you. And it says a mind that is governed by the spirit brings life to the body. The only way you can constantly have life to this body and not be depressed and consumed in that depressive state which becomes lifeless is by being governed. Your mind being governed by your spirit, never by your emotions, never by the things you see externally, never by the stimuli that life challenges and circumstances bring to your life. When we are based on feelings, we begin to govern our mind, because I feel I need to go after this. How many men have lost incredible marriages because of their reckless attitude? We want to endorse feeling. We want to endorse whatever you call it. Infidelity, it comes with consequences, illnesses, homes, children being damaged. Go read, go gain knowledge. Don't blame people for the mental problems our children are going through. You were so consumed in your pleasures, in your feelings, that you abandoned those children, going after one man to the other to actually satisfy your very short-lived emotional desires that will never bring you fulfillment. They bring happiness, which is short-lived. And once it's gone, you go back. So beloved, my goal for this podcast today is you understand fully who you are, and you actually be who you're created to be. Don't be someone else. Don't feel. You live it, you experience it. It's authentic. It's real. It's tangible. It could be experienced. You cannot deny the power of my words. You absolutely cannot deny. Whether you don't like it or you like it, you cannot deny the power these words I speak that are life carry. But some choose. There is light. Do people still stumble, walk in darkness? Of course. There is love. Do people still choose to work in pain, in destruction, in hatred? Of course. Don't tell me because XYZ didn't love me. God is love. He's the source of love. If you've rejected him, you've rejected love. You are love. There's love within you. You've rejected your true self, essence, and nature. And who do you want to blame? You can't get love outwardly. I'm sorry, beloved. I'm sorry. It's not long lasting. Love is an unconditional state of being. In richness or in poverty, in sickness and in health, we made that vow. I will love you till death do us part. Because only when we die, we become in existence. We are no longer human beings. We're no longer on this planet. We're no longer qualified to be human beings. We're no longer qualified to be physically made evident or manifested in this physical body. So we are no longer existing. And that love will manifest though we go back. The spirit in us lives and goes back to our Creator to be reunited with Him. But we are no longer in the world. So that's the only time our love leaves this world. That the legacy of our love continues to live in those who've loved, impacted, and touched in one way or the other. May you be blessed by this podcast. Again, you've been listening to Dr. Sylvia Fletcher Kwame, and this is a Transformation Podcast. A powerful, inspirational, life-changing, transformational podcast designed to bring you life-changing content on personal development, leadership, health and well-being, relationships, entrepreneurship, or career development. Above all, that you may unlock your true identity, life purpose, live a fulfilling, purposeful, healthy, and successful life. We've come to the end of this episode. Walking in your authentic state of being your true essence wherever you are. Be you. You're incredibly, magnificently created, set apart from everyone in the world. Do not feel, be. Feeling has a place, short-lived. Being is constant, is always existing, as long as you are alive. God bless. Please do subscribe, do share this video to bless someone. I'm confident you will be blessed. God bless. You've been listening to the wonderful Dr. Sylvia Fletcher Kwame. It's a pleasure speaking to you, incredible and wonderful one. Thank you.